Picture this. You're out there in the frozen wilds of Siberia, shovel in hand, dreaming of unearthing some epic relic from the Ice Age like a woolly mammoth tusk that could rewrite history books. But instead of a gentle giant's bone, you crack open a layer of permafrost and stumble upon something alive. Not breathing, not moving, but waiting, patient as the glaciers themselves. These aren't just fossils, they're ancient viruses, locked in ice for over 48,000 years, whispering promises of revival. Welcome to the shadowy side of science, where discoveries don't just surprise us, they send chills down our spines. Today, we're counting down 7 of the creepiest scientific breakthroughs that make you wonder if knowledge is always a good thing. We'll start at number 7 and work our way to the top, peeling back layers of mystery, mishap, and mind-bending weirdness. Buckle up. This ride through the unknown might just keep you up at night. Number 7. Those eerie ancient viruses lurking in the permafrost. Let's set the scene deeper, shall we? It's not just any dig site, it's the vast, unforgiving tundra of Siberia, where the ground stays frozen year-round, a natural vault buried under miles of snow. Scientists, bundled in layers thicker than a polar bear's fur, are on a quest for clues about prehistoric life. They expect the usual: shards of bone, maybe a preserved flower from a long-lost world. But no, what they pull up is a vial of murky ice containing microscopic time capsules, viruses that have been on ice since the days when saber-toothed cats prowled and early humans huddled around campfires, just figuring out how to sharpen a stick. These aren't your garden-variety germs, dubbed zombie viruses by the researchers who revived them. These bad boys have the uncanny ability to shake off millennia of deep freeze and get back to business. Think about it. 48,500 years is longer than we've had writing, cities, or even the wheel. That's an eternity for something to sit dormant, yet when thawed in a sterile lab under fluorescent lights, they spring into action like they just hit the snooze button on a cosmic alarm clock. Here's where it gets wild. In controlled experiments, these ancient invaders latched onto modern amoebas, those squishy, single-celled blobs that float around in pond water, and infected them without missing a beat. It's as if you dusted off a rotary phone from your grandma's attic, plugged it in, and heard it ring with a wrong number from 1,920. But swap out the chit-chat for cellular sabotage. Instead of a harmless prank call, these viruses are dialing up destruction on a molecular level. Why does this freak us out so much? Permafrost isn't just cold, it's a fortress. Pitch black, oxygen-starved, and locked in eternal winter. It's the ultimate cryogenic nap spot for pathogens. No sunlight to zap them, no air to dilute their potency, just pure, unyielding chill preserving them like specimens in a mad scientist's fridge. For now, these particular zombies only target tiny protozoa, the amoeba crowd, so you can exhale a little no-zombie apocalypse for humans on the horizon today. But here's the hook that keeps microbiologists pacing their labs at 3 a.m. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Literally, deeper digs could unleash a whole menagerie of forgotten foes, tailored to who knows what hosts. Birds, plants, us. Experts aren't mincing words. They're dubbing the permafrost Pandora's box of the Arctic. Once the ice melts, and with climate change cranking up the heat like a faulty thermostat, those seals break. No do-overs, no putting the genie back in the bottle. It's a reminder that Earth's history isn't just buried treasure. It's a graveyard of potential nightmares, thawed 1 degree at a time. As we melt our way into the future, are we ready for the wake-up call? Or will these ancient sleepers catch us with our guards down? Shifting gears from frozen tombs to tropical nightmares, let's drop down to number 6. The mind-bending neurological tricks of scopolamine. Envision a lush jungle in South America, where the air hangs heavy with humidity and the faint scent of exotic blooms. Amid the vines and canopy, there's a tree that looks innocent enough, tall, unassuming, with seeds that could pass for nature's confetti. But scientists, poking around for new medicines, stumbled on a secret that turns this plant into a real-life villain from a psychological thriller. The culprit? A compound extracted from those seeds, officially tagged scopolamine, though the locals, who've known its dark side for generations, whisper a far more fitting name: Devil's Breath. Why the devilish moniker? Because this stuff doesn't just mess with your body, it hijacks your brain, turning you into a puppet on invisible strings. At the heart of it is a sneaky chemical warfare on your noggin's wiring. Your brain relies on a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine to keep things humming, forming memories, making choices, basically being the you that decides whether to hit snooze or seize the day. Scopolamine swoops in like a digital eraser, blocking that signal and wiping the slate clean on your short-term recall. The result? A person who looks and acts utterly normal, chatting away, solving puzzles, even navigating a crowded market, but with zero footage saved to the mental hard drive. They'll nod along to suggestions, hand over keys or cash, perform tasks that require focus, all while their inner director yells, "Cut, too late." It's like your consciousness takes a coffee break, leaving autopilot in charge, and that autopilot? It's suspiciously compliant. "Sure, I'll follow you to that shady alley." "Oh, yeah. Emptying my wallet sounds fun. No resistance, no red flags, just eerie agreeability." In parts of Colombia and Ecuador, where this tree grows wild, opportunists have weaponized it with chilling precision. A puff of powder blown into a face at a bar, a dash in a drink during a festival, and suddenly the victim's their own worst enemy. They'll stroll to an ATM, punch in their PIN with a grin, sign away deeds or withdraw stacks of bills, all under the influence. Come morning? Blank. A fog of nothing, like someone scrubbed their brain with steel wool. No clues, no leads, just a headache and a lighter portfolio. It's not sci-fi. It's biochemistry gone rogue, exploiting the very pathways that make us human. Researchers first clocked this in labs, testing for therapeutic uses like motion sickness remedies, only to uncover the abyss. Now, it's a cautionary tale in pharmacology. Nature's pharmacy holds cures, sure, but also keys to the subconscious that we'd rather leave locked. Ever wonder what it'd be like to lose a whole night to a chemical ghost? Yeah, me neither. But knowing it's out there, lurking in a seed, makes every stranger's smile a little more suspect. From brain-erasing botanicals to protein-based horrors that rewrite biology's rulebook, we slide into number 5. The spine-tingling revelation of prion diseases. Cast your mind back to the 1,980 seconds, a time of big hair, bigger ambitions, and biology on the brink of revolution. Scientists were mapping the genome like explorers charting unclaimed lands, confident in the gospel. All infectious agents need DNA or RNA to replicate, that double helix blueprint for life's chaos. It was the bedrock of virology, unshakable as gravity. Then, like a plot twist in a cosmic detective novel, prions crashed the party, misfolded proteins with no genes, no cells, just pure, perverted persistence. Picture it. A single rogue protein, twisted like a knotted shoelace, bumps into its healthy kin in your brain. No fanfare, no virus shell, just a touch, and the normal protein folds wrong, joining the rebellion. It's contagion by conversion, a chain reaction where each recruit twists the next, spreading like gossip in a small town or ripples from a stone skipped across a still pond. Before you know it, your neural highways are clogged with these rebels, gumming up the works until thoughts slow, memories fray, and coordination crumbles. The endgame? Your brain tissue riddled with vacuoles, actual voids, like bubbles in overproofed dough turning gray matter into a spongy sieve. Mad cow disease, Creutzfeldt-Jakob, chronic wasting in deer, all prion playgrounds, leaping species barriers with the ease of a flea on a dog. A tainted burger here, a hunted venison steak there, and bam, humanity's in the crosshairs. What's truly unnerving? These molecular marauders mock our defenses. Boil them? They yawn. Douse in bleach or acids? Chuckle. Nuke with radiation that shreds DNA? Shrug. Prions don't play by infectious rules. They're the outlaws of the cellular Wild West, immune to the sheriff's usual tricks. When Stanley Prusiner first floated this theory in '82, the scientific community blinked hard. Proteins alone? No nucleic acids? Pull the other one, they scoffed, relegating him to crank status. Labs dismissed his papers. Peers rolled eyes at conferences, but Prusiner dug in, purifying prions from infected brains, proving the impossible with painstaking isolation. By '97, a Nobel Prize silenced the doubters, but not before etching prions into our collective dread. Now, we know they're out there, silent saboteurs in meat, milk, maybe more eternal reminders that nature's simplest building blocks can harbor the deadliest secrets. We've danced with demons in labs and jungles. Now, rewind to the Manhattan Project's fever dream for number 4, the infamous Demon Core incident. World War II's shadow looms large, but beneath the headlines of bombs and battles, Los Alamos buzzed with brainiacs pushing atoms to their limits. Enter a unassuming plutonium sphere, about the size of a grapefruit, forged in secrecy to fuel the next Big Bang. Christened the Demon Core after its antics, This hunk of metal wasn't content as a passive prop, it craved criticality, flirting with fission like a daredevil on a tightrope. The setup? Physicists probed its quirks by encasing it in neutron-reflecting jackets, inching toward supercriticality to mimic bomb conditions without the boom. Safe on paper, but in practice, a hair's breadth from hell. One slip, and neutrons multiply exponentially, bathing the room in a lethal blue Cherenkov glow, the light of impending doom, like lightning trapped in a bottle. First fatality. August 45, post-Hiroshima glow fading. Harry Daghlian, a meticulous experimenter, stacked tungsten carbide bricks around the core like a deadly Jenga tower, late into the night. Tension thick as fog, he added the final piece, then fumbled. The brick teetered, fell, and clicked into place. Blue flash. Alarms wailed. Daghlian yanked it off, scorching his hand, but too late his body absorbed a fatal neutron barrage. Agony followed. Burns, nausea, hair loss, then organ meltdown over 25 excruciating days. He was 24. Less than a year later, May 46, Louis Slotin stepped up for a demo, screwdriver in hand as a makeshift spacer between beryllium hemispheres. Think the world's tensest game of pickup sticks, where losing means glowing from the inside out. Colleagues watched, breath held, as he teased the halves closer. Just a little more, he quipped, ever the showman. Then slip. The tool danced away. The shells kissed. Blue blaze again, hotter than the sun's core. Slotin wrenched them apart, shielding others with his body, but paid the ultimate price. Radiation sickness ravaged him in 9 days, his nervous system frying like exposed wires in a storm. The core? Decommissioned, its curse retired. But the fallout reshaped nuclear protocol. No more hands-on heroism, no screwdrivers in the sanctum. Remote tools, safety buffers, a culture of question everything. 2 lives for a lesson. Even geniuses court fate with folly, and some spheres spin tales darker than fiction. What if that glow had spread further? History's close calls remind us progress walks a razor's edge. From atomic close shaves to viral Frankensteins in the lab, number 3 chills the air. The airborne H5N1 bird flu breakthrough that sparked a global firestorm. Fast forward to the 2010 seconds, where virologists in white coats play God with pandemics not to unleash them, but to outsmart them. Bird flu, H5N1, was the bogeyman du jour, lethal to chickens, a lung shredder in rare human spillover, but stubbornly stuck in avian airways. Labs in the Netherlands and Wisconsin set out to decode the jump. What tweaks let a bird bug go bat-to-bat with mammals? Armed with ferrets, furry flu proxies that sneeze like us, they tinkered, serial passaging the virus through hosts, watching mutations accumulate like errors in a glitchy code. Then, the unthinkable. After 3 to 5 pinpoint changes in the hemagglutinin gene, their creation didn't just infect it, aerosolized. Ferrets in adjacent cages caught it from coughs alone, no direct contact needed. The air hummed with invisible threat. Cages became contagion chambers. Silence fell over the team, broken only by the whir of air filters. This wasn't evolution observed, it was engineered, a feathered fiend now mammalian, mobile, transmissible as the common cold but deadlier than a sledgehammer. Panic rippled outward. Publish or perish. The findings could arm vaccine makers. Map Nature's next leap. H5N1 had already nicked 60% of human cases, but critics howled. Dual-use dynamite. In BSL-3 labs, one breach from disaster, they'd birthed a blueprint for bioterror or accidental Armageddon. What if a cough escaped? A hacker stole the sequence? The NSABB weighed in, urging embargo. Journals paused. Governments convened in smoke-filled rooms, metaphorically these days. The moratorium held 6 months, but the genie's out. Partially redacted papers dropped in 12, sans full recipe. Protocols tightened. Oversight boards, mutation red flags, ethical minefields mapped. Yet the real haunt? Nature's no slouch. Wild reservoirs brew similar shifts sans human help. This lab mimicry mirrors what's brewing in duck ponds worldwide. Virologists now whisper of gain-of-function gambles, weighing foresight against folly. Ever ponder if knowing the path to plague helps or hastens it? This discovery didn't just rewrite flu files, it redlined our risk radar. Forever. Descending from viral vaults to chemical infernos, number 2 ignites the fuse. Chlorine trifluoride. The substance that laughs at unburnable. Rewind to the 1930 seconds. Chemistry's golden age of mad alchemy. when boffins chased fluorine's fire without the fury. Fluorine's a beast etching glass, igniting at whim but too volatile for industry. Enter IG Farben, tinkering with chlorine-fluorine hybrids for rocket fuel dreams. Boom. Chlorine trifluoride. ClF3. A pale green liquid that doesn't react at rampages. Colorless in gas form, but don't be fooled. This is reactivity on steroids, a molecular berserker itching for a fight. Its MO? Exothermic anarchy. Touch it to sand, ignites. Glass, melts and burns. Water, explodes into hydrofluoric acid hell. Even asbestos, the eternal flame retardant, crumbles to ash in its grasp. Concrete? A 1,950-second spill in a German warehouse etched a meter-deep crater through flooring, then tunneled through subsoil gravel like a hot knife through fog. No ignition source required, proximity suffices, oxygen be damned. It's autoignition personified, a substance so eager it oxidizes the oxidizers. Quenching? Forget it. H2O fuels the frenzy, CO2 extinguishers fizzle. Only starvation stops it, consume the target till nothing's left. Storage demands Teflon-lined fortresses, pre-fluorinated to sate its hunger, or alloy drums etched inert. NASA's eyed it for satellite thrusters, but one whiff of mishap, and it's orbital Armageddon. Why the dread? It's not just power, it's unpredictability. A drop dances across a lab bench, etching scars. A tank rupture could raise a block. Chemists call it uncontrollable, a reminder that synthesis can summon demons we can't leash. Imagine bottling lightning's angry cousin, beautiful, brief, and begging for bedlam. In our quest for better burns, we birthed the ultimate, a chemical that redefines too hot to handle. And now, the pinnacle of cosmic creeps. Number 1. The Great Attractor. That unseen behemoth yanking our galaxy into the void. The 1,970 seconds disco balls spinning. Space probes probing when radio astronomers at Caltech tuned into the heavens hum. Galaxies weren't static specks. They streamed, red-shifted rivers flowing toward something. Our Milky Way, Andromeda, thousands of siblings all hurtling at 600 kilometers per second, 1.3 million miles per hour, toward a blank spot in Norma, behind the Milky Way's bulging disk. Dubbed the zone of avoidance, it's obscured by our galaxy's stardust and gas, a stellar blindfold hiding the horror. Infrared peaks pierce the veil. A gravitational colossus, mass equivalent to 10,000 millis, warping spacetime like a black hole on steroids. Yet no glow, no core, just pull, inexorable as tide to moon. Is it a supercluster? Dark matter monolith? Alien megastructure? Okay, that's the fun speculation. We barrel closer yearly, 225 kilometers per second from Virgo, the flow's epicenter yet oblivious, our nights unchanged, the unease. Invisibility breeds terror. Like a shadow in peripheral vision, always there, drawing us in. No escape trajectory. Gravity's grip is gospel. Telescopes strain Hubble, JWST, but dust denies details. We're moths to its flame, galaxies as cosmic lint. Discovered by Rubin and Ford in '74, it upended island universe isolation. We're not adrift, but drafted into destiny's draft. What lurks beyond the veil? Collision? Devour? Or gentle merge into greater whole? For now we hurtle blind, a speck in the suck. Science's gift, wonder laced with woe. The universe isn't empty, it's insistent, pulling strings we can't see. Phew, what a whirlwind through science's shadowy corners, from icy revivals to galactic ghosts. If these tales twisted your thinker, hit that like button to fuel more deep dives, and drop in the comments, which discovery gave you the biggest goosebumps? Your stories keep the conversation cosmic, let's hear 'em.